Hello, Taurus, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of October 19th through the 25th. And during that time, we'll have a waning crescent at the first part of that week. And that's a really good time for surrender, rest, and healing. Let go and get ready for the new cycle, which comes on the... Hello, kitty. Sorry, here comes my kitty in here for some pets. That new cycle starts on the new moon is on the 21st through the 22nd, couple of days there. And of course, that's a good time for a fresh start, new beginnings, good time to start new projects, make new decisions, that sort of thing. Pet new kitties, even though this is a very old kitty. Okay, what was I saying there? Oh, then we do move into waxing crescent energy, and that is a good time. It's your senses are heightened, and it's a good time to just buckle down and start really digging in on those new things that you've just started on the new moon. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter, Taurus. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading: you and your loved ones are safe. All right, let's see what Taurus has coming in. Anytime I see that card, it makes me think of for some reason, kind of natural disaster-y type things. And not that anything is huge, but if there's some sort of inclement weather coming at you, just make sure you're very aware. If you're in an earthquake zone, make sure you have like your go bag, all of those things. Just might just be a good time for you to just check, are all of your ducks in a row? If a storm would come in, or if something, whatever natural disasters occur in your particular area, it's just a good time every once in a while to check and say, is everything good? Do I have I know winter's approaching, and they say to keep like extra water in your car, maybe snacks, flashlight, a blanket, that sort of thing. So just those little seasonal things that we all do to make sure that we're safe. So please keep that in mind. My fun little weekly reminder for you, Taurus, is that you watch for synchronicities this week. Just notice the world around you, and see if there's repeating number patterns, or there could be animals that you don't see all the time, maybe songs, overheard conversations, but watch for those synchronicities as the universe speaks to you in its own unique way to show you clarity on your path. So that's really what those synchronicities are about. And once you start seeing them, it's really hard to unsee them. So that is just my fun weekly reminder for that. So without further ado, let's get into this reading. Taurus, October 19th through the 25th. You and your loved ones are safe, and your present energy is the Nine of Wands. So it looks like you're having some kind of look back energy here. You're having some, they call this the wounded warrior. What are those wounds? Where did they come from? What have you been through in your recent past? And with the moon energy that we have right now, with especially that waning crescent, it is time to kind of just let go of that stuff. Let go of whatever you've gone through in the past month, the past few weeks, the past 6 months, year. It's time to start letting go and just kind of making that turnaround. So that's kind of your present energy, which is good. Your current situation is the High Priestess, which now this is the second time I've seen the High Priestess. Well, I'm only done 2 readings, but here she's appeared twice. Is she going to be our star this week? Are we all feeling, I always notice that since I started doing these readings for the collective, it's very interesting to me and new as a reader to see that there might be one card that has kind of come out in every reading in different positions. And this is actually the same position as the Aries reading that I just did. But to say that all of us are kind of honing into our intuitive and those synchronistic things that I was just talking about. So, but your current situation is that you've had something that's kind of been synchronistic or intuitive, something that has come to you in some mysterious way, but it's some truth, and it's something that you're kind of dealing with. Again, it may be about something in your past that's kind of just coming and being and coming to clear for you, if that makes sense. You're getting some kind of clarity about something from your past, and it's making sense, and you're putting it all together. At the root of your situation is the Nine of Cups, which is definitely a card of kind of a card of self-indulgence. And now here we are with two nines on the table as well, and that's what I mean when it comes to synchronicities. You may want to look up angel number 99. We'll see if we have more as the reading comes out, but almost like, are you looking back and wondering about something in your own way of self-indulgence, that maybe your intuition is kind of guiding you in a different way and say maybe we shouldn't indulge in that manner, and let's move forward in a different way. In your recent past is the Seven of Pentacles, or I'm sorry, Eight of Pentacles, which is our card of kind of just having your head down and being hard at work, working hard on something. And I always say with that card, it's almost the this person seems to me that they're enjoying their work so much that they can't even really be bothered to look up, that they're just very focused, very into what they're doing. And if that is your recent past, it could be that you were so focused on work or some part of your life that was bringing you money or bringing the material things to you, that you are looking back now and thinking, well, I was working so hard. I let this thing slide. I let this indulgence slide. And now my intuition is telling me that I do need to manage that a little bit better right now. In on your mind this week is the moon, which, wow, let's talk about hand in hand with the high priestess. I mean, it's almost the same energy to me. It's about mystery. It's about mysterious paths. It's about seeing things through the darkness. It is definitely a card about using your intuition or having that come to you. It's like things that come to you, in this case, in the dark of night. It comes to you at night, maybe again through a dream, through some sort of intuition or something, but that's on your mind. And if it's something that you're working on right now, if you're trying to kind of be in tune with your intuition, you can. I always recommend that everyone keep a spiritual journal. And this is a reason why too. If you're having dreams, that you need to write those down. If you feel like they're significant, if you are seeing like repeating number patterns, like this 99 that I just showed you, or if you're seeing those out in the world, you start writing those things down. Sometimes it takes a while to kind of put the message together, but if you're writing those things down, you won't lose track of them, and you might start to see a pattern that just makes things very obvious to what the universe is trying to tell you. Let's see what is just ahead of you this week. Taurus is the World card, which is awesome. This is our card of happiness and perfect balance, and just things being very calm. I feel like that's, you're kind of working on that, and it might be, again, we're approaching this new moon, so there might be new things that you're wanting to start. And again, if you're looking back on your past, it may have something to do there with indulgence. And is there something, are you overeating? Did you over drink too much? Is there something that you've been indulging yourself in that you're just kind of taking a second look at? And we all do that. We all do it and turn around and make those corrections, right? In your advice position is the Fool, which I love. So the advice is start off on a new journey. Whatever this is that you're looking back on, and it appears to be that you're not completely thrilled about it. Again, this is wounded warrior. This isn't happy looking back guy. This is kind of, there's a bandage on his head and he's like, so I feel like you're going to start a new journey. Is this, again, if it's about self-indulgence, are you stopping drinking? Are you going to start a new diet plan? Or maybe you're going to exercise more, in some way that maybe you were working too hard to really notice that, oh, you've put on a little extra weight, or you've been grabbing those drinks after work a little too much. So if there's some sort of indulgence that the universe is like, kind of giving you that little warning, pay attention to those signs and start that new journey. And it may not be, of course, here we are at the new moon. It's a good time to start new journeys, but if it's something like that, and start slow so you can be successful, one little tiny thing at a time, right? All right, what is beyond your control is the Hanged Man, which I love when the Hanged Man is paired with the Fool, because new beginnings and new perspective. So some new perspective has come to you again. Did it come to you from the dark of night through some sort of intuitive thing? Was it some synchronistic thing that has just made you have a new perspective and look at things in a new way? But whatever it is, you're looking at this indulgence in a new way and thinking, nope, I need to make that change. And there's the Fool card and that Hangman to help you to move in that direction. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid? Ace of Pentacles. So is it your new desire to have some new financial thing or new material thing come at you, or are you trying to avoid that? And it could be that, if you've been working so hard, if this is like a new Like maybe it's a new job opportunity that comes in and someone says, hey, I've got this opportunity, you can make X amount of dollars doing this thing, but you know in your heart that you have been working so hard that you've let something else go, and maybe you don't, maybe you are trying to avoid that. And so you need to think about what is best for you, even if that means taking pen to paper and just kind of making a pro and con list if someone offers you something. Or it could be your secret desire. It could be that this new way of being and this new perspective will prompt you into a new financial or new job situation at some point. So you need to look at that both ways there. In your outcome position, Taurus, is the Ace of Swords. So this is an aha moment. This is a mental breakthrough. I'm laughing because I love tarot. I really do. Sometimes when these stories come out, it just makes so much sense to me. Hopefully it makes sense to you too, the way I'm explaining it. But your outcome is that you've had this new breakthrough moment. And I mean, did it come from your intuition? It looks to me like it did. Did it come from also looking back on kind of blaming the fact that you've been working so hard on something, right? And here's you have this aha moment during all of this. But look, you're moving forward on a new journey with a new perspective, and you're moving towards happiness. The World card is our perfect balance. It's literally the end of the fool's journey. So it looks like you're going to start something, but it's going to bring you all the way around to this perfect balance, which I really love. I love how these cards have come out for this reading here. Let's see what's hidden from you at the bottom of the deck, Taurus. What's hidden from you is the Two of Wands, which is really thinking about the future and kind of an achievement, right? This is about achieving something. So you're not quite there. I feel like you're just starting this. And this achievement card, even though it's not there, to me it's significant that it's at the bottom of the deck for you, because it means it's coming. I wouldn't put it past to see this card come up for you, maybe next week or in the next few weeks, as kind of your primary thing, that you've kind of had this achievement because you've had this aha moment, you're starting this new path, you've got this new perspective, and the World card is here. So if you would come back here in a few weeks, I bet you would see this card kind of figure prominently in the center of your story. So that would not shock me one bit. All right, Taurus, let's get a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. A final message for Taurus as they head off on this new journey with this new perspective and this new mindset. I really love this for you. All right, Taurus, make necessary sacrifices. Wow, so that does kind of go hand in hand with, I do feel like, what have you been ignoring, that you've been working so hard that you're ignoring something? And again, it could be exercise related, health related. And that's just kind of the feeling I get, that this is very just personal to you. That you may just decide that you want to exercise more, and so you start off on this new journey. You've got this new perspective, these new goals you're setting. Again, I wouldn't be surprised to see that Two of Wands here in a few weeks, but make necessary sacrifices. And if that is a time sacrifice for you, or, maybe you have to get up 15 minutes earlier every morning to accomplish this goal, and go ahead and do that. All right, let's see what Taurus needs to do in the way of self-care this week. Self-care for Taurus as they head off. Truth is the card that comes up for you. Truth is different at different levels of consciousness. Reserve judgment. Okay, so whatever thing you're learning at your level of consciousness, you will always see people that are in a different place where they have not learned that lesson yet. And you will also see people who have learned that lesson. And that goes for almost every topic under the sun. And that's true. That is just what that truth is. So it's different at different levels. And so depending on what it is, that's just where you are. That's your truth at the moment. You set off on this new journey with your new perspective and your new attitude. And I think you're going to be very happy at the end of it. So Taurus, thank you so much for being here with me. I do wish you the best of luck with all of this week. I really appreciate your time here. If you like my reading style, of course, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you have questions or commentary, I would love to hear comments down below also. So leave me a comment. Let me know, did I hit something? Is there something that you are working on personally? Personal goals. And also, if you add my channel, it'll let you come back and we can see here in a few weeks if this card ends up in the middle of your reading. And if it does, please leave me a comment, because I have zero memory for readings. This is what makes me a great tarot reader, but I can't remember I won't remember this reading 3 weeks from now is what I'm saying, but you will, because it's personal to you. So if that reading comes up, just remind me in the comments, hey, you did say I would see that card and I did achieve that goal. So awesome. I congratulate you early, because I think you will achieve that goal. So again, Taurus, thank you so much for being here. Good luck with all of this, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.